Welcome everyone to Hack Academy Active Directory Chain. So this will be absolutely amazing practice for you if you're going for the OSCP, because it will very realistically simulate an OSCP exam when it comes to the Active Directory department, right? So I definitely recommend getting in that practice. If you're also following along with the checklist, this entire chain, this series of episodes will cover so many aspects within the Active Directory chain and the Windows Privilege Escalation chain. So or the section in the docs. So I definitely recommend you updating that as you go as well and as you learn. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this series and I really hope you enjoyed this video. And I want you to absolutely crush the OSCP. So please enjoy the video and keep learning. This will be the chain 1 of this series. And there aren't too many good AD chains out there at all. So I figured that I would make my own to make it as realistic and as similar to the OSCP, to give you the best practice possible so that you will be as good prepared as you possibly can be, okay? So this will be the chain 1. I set it up with minimal resources, right? Just so it's as doable as possible for you guys. Again, I will be showing you how to do this later on, but there's 2 Windows 10 clients and there's 1 domain controller. The 10 clients, Windows 10 clients, just needed 4 gigs of RAM and 2 CPU cores, both of them, right? So that's 8 gig of RAM and 4 CPU cores, and then the domain controller core only required 2 CPU cores and 2 gigs of RAM. So that's 10 gigs of RAM and 6 CPU cores, and excluding the Kali, that is pretty much all that I needed to set this up. So that's awesome, right? Using the core version of the Windows Server was very useful. So yeah, let's get into actually attacking the first chain. So we will be doing this on this interface, right? So what we can do then is we can start off with a simple ping sweep. So there's a tool called fping, quiet network range, and then it's the subnet of this, so we will do /24. And then this will essentially do a ping sweep across this entire subnet and find all the related IPs. We can also just put this into IPs. And then we can also do something like SMB across these IPs as well to see if yeah, and there we go. This will essentially immediately tell us which IPs are relevant. Okay, we can see what has WinRAM as well. So it seems client 1 and client 2, and the domain controller as well has WinRAM. Okay, so that's good to know. So these are essentially the relevant IPs. And 141. All right. So we can pretty much just do a quick scan on this. So you can do -il for a list in a nmap with different IPs, right? And then we can just kind of see what's open. Now, I would also recommend doing a -p-, right, for a full port scan. But I know that this won't be relevant for this setup. But I will still show you how I would go about it, right, even though obviously I made the lamp. So we can see RPC is open, we can see SMB is open, and we can also see that RDP is open as well, remote desktop. This is the domain controller, right, because port 8080 is open on 147. So 138 and 141, those are the Windows 10 clients. And they have RPC, SMB, and RDP is open, at least. If I do I guess let's just do a full scan. Let's do like so, but instead of target, we're doing a list like so, and a domain IP. Now, we do also have some initial set of credentials. The starting creds, so C. Miller and Coffee Wand. So we'll be using that to enumerate, but I just want to get an overview first over all the clients that we are dealing with in the domain and what ports are open, right? So we can start enumerating a bit. So netexec SMB. And we can see what we can enumerate with this. So it has access on all of the different domain join machines. And let's see. So we have read access on IPC, but these are all default shares. So none of this is really too interesting at all. Yes. Another thing we can do as well then is we can use the -- users to be able to enumerate the users while this scan is still ongoing. And so one thing that's noteworthy is that when you are doing the -- users, right? So on the client, client 2 and client 1, sorry, right here. We actually see the happy cactus to T-West, okay? So this is a, this again happens sometimes in real life, and this is what we'll be doing as part of our chain, right? So that's why we always want to enumerate the description field at least. But interestingly enough, we can only see this response back from 147, which is the domain controller, right? Although we tried it against all of these different hosts, the client 1, client 2, and domain controller 1. So with actually -users, that doesn't work. But with readroot, I believe it should. There we go. So 147 is again the domain controller. So we can see all of these different users and groups. But now we're actually getting feedback from the clients as well. Okay, so that's a noteworthy thing. These are all David, for instance, right? It says client 2 /David instead of something like Hack Academy /David. So this is a local user, okay, on client 2. And the same thing applies here with Matt on client 1. Okay, so I just thought that's a noteworthy thing. If you ever want to collect all users in a user list, if you want to spray like credentials or hashes, then you should definitely have all of the domain users, but it's also not a bad idea at all to... it's not a bad idea to collect the users, the local users either, just in case of some credential reuse and whatnot. Now, if you enjoy how I teach and you enjoy this video and you want to take the OSCP, then what are you doing not being in this course? It's over 15 hours long and it covers everything that you need. If you're only watching the videos on YouTube, you're missing out a lot because it's over 15 hours of content. You will get access to the VIP section on Discord where you can ask me any questions and you can study alongside all the other students in our course. Right now, you will also get access to this checklist right here, which will cover at least 95% plus of all the attacks and all the techniques that you need to know for every single section. Not only initial access, but AD, pivoting, Linux, and Windows privilege escalation. And the goal for you is to reach proficient or at least basic competence on all of them. That's one of the things. We also have this entire roadmap right here, where there's a bunch of action steps and a bunch of cheat sheets inside all of these hyperlinks that I can't show you in this video. But once you have completed all of them, you know for a fact that you will be ready to get into the OSCP exams and absolutely crush it. If that sounds interesting to you, to get all of this in 15 hour plus of video footage of someone who has OSCP, who explains different attacks and techniques and methodologies, it's going to be invaluable to you. Now, some people are confused with the offer. If you're interested in the notes, These are the notes that you will constantly see me use in the videos, right? They're pretty much recommended to go hand in hand with the course, and I use them constantly in the course itself, right? So I think you'll find it extremely useful. That's also why we have the third offer, which is the bundle, where you can buy both of these together for a discount. I hope that clarifies things. Best of luck on your OSCP journey. I really hope this will be massively useful to you. I'll see you in the next video.